So I'm going to show you in class how to take your sketch that you've done and transfer it onto our scratch art paper, but for now we'll skip the step. When you start to work with details, you want to think about your tools. I like the larger dowel rods. They have a sharper point. Make sure that yours has not been smashed. And then as you start to work with your scratch paper, you want to have a variety of lines. So I'm going to start on this cat eye here. And I want the top of my cat eye to be really nice and thick so that it's bold. Then I can kind of sketch in the bottom of where that eye is going to go. Now every little thing is going to show. So I can do some sketchy lines on here, like fur. And this is needing to be darker. So I'm going to scratch all of that out. And the cat's pupil is black, and so on scratch paper, that means that I'm going to scratch all that out. Okay. And we've got some fur lines that go up on the cat. Some fur lines that come back this direction on the cat. And down. So I'm just showing you one eye where I would be working. So this is this eye from our previous picture. There was my sketch that I did, and this is where I am transferring it. There's not a lot of room for mistakes because you can't erase. Now I want to show you one other way that I could have done that eye. If I think about the cat eye and I think about the areas that need to stay dark and black, I can come in and I can outline to remember where to leave those areas black. This one's just a little bit bigger. So I'm outlining those. Okay. And then I'm going to scratch out the areas that should be lighter. So I'm going to come in to this area. Scratch that out. I've got fur coming off this direction and up. And so it's kind of the opposite of that other eye. So here it is that I scratched out the dark areas. Here it is that I left the dark areas black. So you can think about those in opposite. When you're using scratch paper, don't forget your hatching, which is using straight lines to add shadows, or your cross hatching, which is using lines that cross over to add shadows to something. So for instance, if we're going to come out and practice working on our spheres, we want to think about where the light source is coming from, and so I'm going to pretend that it's coming from the top hand. Okay, so I'm going to do some hatching on the lighter sections. Closer together where I want it to appear lighter. Farther apart where I want it to appear darker. And then round it out. not a perfect sphere. Let's try a cylinder. So here with our cylinder, if I would like to show a lighter and a darker side, I'm going to use my hatching. That's those parallel lines. And right there at the edge where I want it to be nice and bright, I can add my cross hatching. And I'm going to brighten up the edge of that. Okay. So there's lots of possibilities. You can add dots, you can add dashes, but the scratch art paper does require that you have to do a sketch first. I have to approve that sketch. It needs to be fully completed, unlike mine, and then you can move on to the scratch paper. Not a lot of room for mistakes in that one.